Hello everyone, we're live streaming JadaTV. This is what, our third episode? Our fourth episode, that's amazing. Thank you everyone for being here. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Dana. Hi everyone. We're with
And we have a guest today.
Yes.
Who is he?
We have Sam with us. Say hi, Sam.
Hi everyone, how's it going?
Great, Sam. You look like you have a great background. Where are you?
I'm in Miami, Florida.
Oh,
Amazing.
welcome to Miami.
You are where everybody goes on vacation.
How does that feel? You live in vacation.
Oh man, it's just it's a never, like here the sun, it's so hot all the time. Like I feel like the summer in Miami is like the winter in Buffalo, New York.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
I think Florida in any sense does not come to South Florida in the summertime. But for whatever reason, all of us really have chosen to call this place home.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Why we put up with this crazy heat we get in the summertime? And like it's mid-September, it's still summer for us. It's like summer goes on until maybe the end of October, if we're being realistic.
Well, Jonatas is in Miami too. You guys are neighbors.
And you're South Florida. I mean, you're in Tampa, but it's still Southern Florida. You know, you still get this crazy heat.
Yeah, that's true. I'm blessed with good weather.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm here for the hurricanes because it makes it rain iguanas. It's very surreal.
Well, this episode's extra special because Sam, we're going to learn about Sam in a minute after our icebreaker, but I just wanted to say Sam is also Team Jada. So he is a part of the founding team of Jada. So we're going to learn all about that and what the heck that means. But first, a drum roll is our fun icebreaker. Everyone, here we go. I'm sorry, this thing is...
Go.
Okay, so we get 2 minutes to draw something awesome out of the hat or the bowl. And you have to be blindfolded and we have 2 minutes. I'm not going to look. I'm going to pull.
Okay, my blindfold
Everyone has to participate. Oh, you got your blinders on?
Oh, blindfold.
Yeah.
So we're gonna draw a gorilla.
What is that?
A gorilla.
What is a gorilla? I have no idea what that is.
It's a bear and a
gorilla?
Gorilla and a bear?
Okay.
Like a polar bear and a gorilla.
Oh, I've heard of that. Because guys, with the ice caps melting, polar bears are getting out of the cold zone and they're migrating to the warm zone where they meet grizzly bears.
I see.
So they're having babies.
Oh, okay.
This is happening, I think, actually.
Okay.
It is actually happening.
So what is this? We have to draw it.
This is dialogue on environmental climate change.
Yeah, these are subspecies or sister species hybridizing in order to survive.
All right, so let's get started. A gorilla.
Okay, let's do this.
Okay,
a grizzly bear and a polar bear together.
The clock is started. Close your eyes.
Okay, close your eyes. Close your eyes.
All right, I have to find the paper first. Okay.
Oh my. Okay, I'm starting.
Eyes closed.
My eyes are closed.
Look at mine.
You guys, I'm not an artist, so I know this is gonna look like a bunch of nonsense.
Oh, don't worry. Your eyes are closed. You're just as much as even playing field as us.
Oh yeah. If not better.
No, actually, Jonathan, didn't you say you've done this before? You draw...
Yeah, I've done this before. That's right.
What is the classes, or what have you learned?
It's called blind contour.
Oh my God, you're gonna win.
You don't have to close your eyes, but you cannot look at the paper when you do blind contour.
My eyes are sealed shut.
That's kind of
okay.
That's a little kinky. Blind contour class.
Look, Dana's mind, honestly.
I think I can't. I'm done. Okay, 1 minute left. This is terrible. I cheated, so I just.
You,
I didn't
if you
cheat.
look-
I didn't cheat, but I can't do it anymore because I looked at my paper.
don't confess to your crimes so easily.
I'm just a transparent person. You know me.
Okay, I'm done. I think I'm done. I don't.
I'm done. I'm done.
Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna open my eyes.
Okay.
Oh, gee. Wow.
Okay, so.
Who's first?
Can I open my eyes?
Go. Yes, you.
Can I open my head? No.
Honestly, not as bad as I would have thought.
Oh.
All right.
Right.
What I thought.
So let's see. Big screen.
All
So
right.
we're done. We're done with the countdown. Almost 2 minutes. It was 1 minute and 36
Okay.
seconds. So good. We all did it. So let's see yours, Sam. Oh, that's
Not so bad.
Okay,
Right?
the audience.
Like,
The audience
it
is
looks like
looking.
a dog.
Okay, go talk.
I think it's great.
Say something.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. That's
I
really good.
think it's very good. Okay, can you see mine? Oops, hold on.
I cannot.
Oh no, it's turning transparent. It always does that.
Wait, hold it to your light. The face.
Oh no. Hold on. Now, you see it?
Almost. Let me select you.
Wait, start talk. Talk.
Okay, hold on. It has to be a surprise.
Oh, there it is. That looks like a dinosaur.
Thanks, Dana.
I think that's more. Mine look more like a dog.
I like the
I
green.
know.
I like the greenery you have there.
Yeah, I do have a greenery because they have to eat. You can't just draw them.
Okay,
You
this
have to
is
give them some
mine.
food.
It's like more of a bear.
Oh, that is like a teddy
It's
bear.
a teddy bear. I don't know. I was like thinking about a bear, like something to cuddle with.
In my mind, I was shooting for a teddy bear as well.
You know.
Okay.
Great job.
So because I was doing contour, I was like, what's the difference between a polar bear and a grizzly bear if it's just contour?
I know. Well, I love the greenery. I think Sam wins though. He had so
I do think
much
so.
going on.
No.
Not because he's the guest and we're trying to be nice, but I do think he won this one.
All right, Sam. Who are you? Who are you? Who? Does anyone know that song? Who are you? Yeah, I went there.
What is your origin story?
Oh man, I was born in New York. I was actually born in Stony Brook, New York.
Yeah, I can hear your accent.
Totally. You have an accent. Say water. Say water.
No. Water.
Oh no, that's not how you say it. So do you say? Remember how old were you when you moved to Florida?
I left New York when I was 13, and I moved to Virginia, just outside of Washington D.C. when I was 13.
Oh.
I also briefly lived in Ohio for a portion of my life.
Huh.
And in a very small town in northeastern Ohio. And then my senior year of high school, when I was living in Virginia outside of Washington, D.C., I moved to Chattanooga, Tennessee, of all places in the world. Bit of a culture shock. I finished high school there. I graduated, I got my diploma. And the day after I got my diploma, I left for Florida.
No
Wow.
way.
17 years old when I moved to Florida.
Wow.
Are you serious? So was that a decision? Was like, as you were leading up to graduation, were you thinking, I'm getting out of here and going to Florida?
Yeah, I think where my parents live in Tennessee is a very, very nice place. Beautiful. They're up in the mountains. The people are super nice. Nothing but maybe a little different than me, but some really nice people. I have nothing but nice things to say.
Yeah.
But it's not my speed. It's not my.
Sure.
I'm not. Small town living isn't for me. It's not what I was accustomed to. It's not what I grew up around. Where the action was. I love the beach.
Oh yeah.
So here I am.
Yeah, Miami's got like a cool city vibe and definitely the beach, obviously South Beach. And you're right there. Look at your view. It's gorgeous. I'm so jealous when you talk to us and you got the balcony with the view.
I know.
It's a thing.
When are you moving to Miami, Dana?
Oh, I know. I'm on it. I'm working on that.
Dana, we need you here.
I know. I'm the only missing link not there.
I know. Today I was chatting with a friend at a cafe in Miami, just a random place where you have social distance and you can wear your mask and it's safe and all that. All of a sudden I get a text from a certain someone who's our guest tonight saying, I'm right here, guys. I've been here for 20 minutes. Hello. And I saw Sam. So we just need you, Dana, because we're all here.
I know. Has that ever happened to you where you guys ran into each other? Is that the first time? Like
No,
it was serendipitous.
First time.
That's
First time.
awesome.
Oh yeah.
I was telling Dana earlier today, I've actually had a weird occurrence where I ran into 3 different people I know on 3 separate occasions in 3 consecutive days. Like these last 3 days, I ran in, and that doesn't happen to me very often.
What?
And then all of a sudden, happened 3 days in a row.
That's hilarious.
That is funny. Didn't you say that your lucky day is September 15th or 16th?
It's an important day to me, September 15th. It's my dad's birthday. And
all right.
Actually, no, September 15th is my nephew's birthday. September 14th is my dad's birthday.
Oh man, what sun sign is that? Everybody's the same.
I think it's Virgos or I don't know much about astrology.
So tell us how when you got into Florida and then you ventured into writing, public speaking. How did you? I mean, you're such a great personality. How did Sam become Sam today?
Well, when I first moved to Florida, I was doing landscaping with my uncle. I moved there in the summertime, so I made the great decision of moving to Florida as the summer began. May 29th was the day I moved here in, I don't remember what year, 2016, I think. And I was doing landscaping work with my uncle throughout the Orlando area to make some money before I started going to college in Tampa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so that September, I started going to college in Tampa. And no shade to Tampa, Dana. I did not like living in Tampa. I did not like the college I was going to in Tampa.
I know. Tampa's
you have to made
love
a lot of really great friends. My sister lives in Tampa.
I live in Tampa, St. Pete.
All right.
Temporarily.
Yeah. And maybe 9 months later, I moved to Miami.
Oh, okay.
Wow. A lot of moving.
I'm like a shark. Sharks gotta keep.
So you were in college in Tampa, and did you get fed up with that? You said you didn't like the college there.
Oh my God! I don't want to name names, but it was a private college in Tampa. I mean, that limits it a little bit. But oh my gosh, I had a scholarship to go there. It was one of the scholarships I had. And even given that, it was a $30,000 scholarship to go there. And even given $30,000 scholarship, it was still very expensive. I think it was like $15,000 just on the tuition after that $30,000, and then there's cost of room and board.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My parents, they always told me, they're like, yeah, we'll pay for your college if you go. And then I started going, and they're like, ooh, expensive. I don't think we're going to pay for this. You should not go to school here. And actually, it was my idea. They were suggesting that I continue to go there and take student loans.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I'm not going to do that. They weren't really suggesting that, actually. My parents just kind of, they always made me feel free to make my own decisions. They weren't really pressuring me like one way or the other. They were like, look, you can either leave, or you can get these student loans. It's whatever you want to do. I actually tried going to MDC for a while when I first moved.
Cool.
That was fun.
Have you always, when you went to school, were you taking writing, or have you always had a passion for writing?
Well, when I first was going to actually, I entered some writing contests when I was in high school. I actually won a couple scholarships that way.
Oh, wow.
just two, and we had a high school lit mag that I wrote in, and then when I went to the college in Tampa, I had some writing classes where I got to write a lot of pieces that I was pretty proud of. And then my teachers thought were really great, and they really encouraged me to try and find a career in this. Honestly,
Interesting.
It was something funny. You guys know I don't really come from any kind of art background, but the one teacher who really put the battery in my back to write more than anybody was my art history professor.
Oh, cool.
Really?
I went to in Tampa. Yeah.
Well, Sam, here's the thing. It's almost a cliche to say that anybody who becomes, let's just say, the biggest people out there who are opinion makers, they often don't enjoy college life. They usually drop out. Would you say that this path is common among writers, or is it just among, let's say, tech people, a lot of people in the, in development of apps and all that?
You know something? All of my favorite living authors came out of the system of higher education. A lot of them went to better colleges than I could ever dream of going to. They went through. They have their degrees. They started, these are the kind of people who come out the door working for the New York Times. These are the kind of people whose books get sold, really.
Yeah.
In the traditional kind of structure of a writer is supposed to follow in the United States of America. I can't really think of any. I know there are some famous tech entrepreneurs that dropped out of college. There's a lot. I would not be as bold as to say, I'm actually a genius. Just like all that.
Well, we have read.
For me so far.
We know that it's a virtue to be humble, and the truth is, last year you were a major part of Jada Art Fair. You wrote about what happened, you interviewed people during the event, and you were one of the most charismatic people in the event. So it's great that you are humble, but this opinion of yours of not being such a genius is not very popular amongst your admirers, okay? Just so you know.
You're very witty.
So, yes, you're very much somebody who is very eloquent, both verbally and also in our writing skills. And we admire you so much that we invited you to be part of Jada.
I have 3 questions you were talking, for people that are writers, because JadaTV isn't just about interviewing artists, but it's artists of all creative types, writers, like we just stated,
dancers, fashion people, all kinds of
so we're gonna have
creatives.
Some business owners, entrepreneurs. You are an entrepreneur too. You're creatively channel your you're writing into many assets or avenues. So first question is, what was your childhood inspiration? What writers? Name one or two. So we kind of know you're was it Edgar Allan Poe? What's your go-to?
I went to Edgar Allan Poe. I read Edgar Allan Poe when I was in grade school. I liked him. I wasn't going out of my way to read Edgar Allan Poe, though.
So who's your fallback, that your childhood nostalgia? Who inspired you?
Yeah.
The first novel I ever read, I read with my dad. My whole family was really instrumental in giving me an interest in reading.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah.
A family of readers. And my dad read Moby Dick with me when I was...
That's great.
We sat there, and it was very painstaking to my dad, I imagine. We were sitting there with a book like this, and he's like, and then Moby Dick went to... First grade, I'm very young. I did read that on my own time.
Oh, man.
To do the same, my mom, as an adult, was very interested in the Harry Potter books.
Oh, cool.
And she read them to me from the time I was a baby. She told me.
No way.
When they first
really?
Yeah. My mom was in a reading club that was reading Harry Potter.
That's so cool. What a cool
That's
mom.
very cool. What a cool mom.
And then as I got younger, I'd ask my mom, I'd be like, read me Harry Potter. And my mom would read me Harry Potter. I'd fall asleep. And then by the time I was in 3rd grade, I was reading them by myself, because I had gone through them incessantly with my parents. It's so much to go through. yeah, it's just such, especially nowadays. Now, like, have you seen how they expanded the whole Harry Potter universe now?
Yeah.
Potter,
They go into tangents and
movies, and
Yeah.
that's way over my head because
Yeah.
a lot of people.
Conspiracy.
I only ever read Harry Potter when it was age appropriate for me.
Yeah.
Nothing really. Listen, I have very fond memories of Harry Potter. I'm down to talk about it for a little bit, but I know people.
What do they call? What do they call like the Harry
Potterheads.
Potterhead?
Potterheads.
Oh, so it's very simple for you to talk about it. What aspect of Sam comes from the Harry Potter franchise or books?
Oh man, I don't know. I remember as a young man, as a child, it inspired me a lot. I read a lot of fantasy books, and it's into Harry Potter as I got older. There's tons of like young adult fiction about it. Like, have you ever heard of like Percy Jackson that did like anthology, or there's like the Spiderwick Chronicles.
Yes, so cool.
Things that have been like super commercialized, but sparked curiosity in kids. At least it did for me.
Yeah.
I found myself writing like my own fantasies, my own fan fictions.
Oh,
these
cool.
fantasies.
Really? So you wrote some fan fiction?
When I was very, very young, though, like
Cool.
7 years old. Yeah. Actually, you know something? You know, one of the first writing ventures I ever had was when this was probably the first. Actually, this was when I'm still reading Moby Dick.
Yeah.
I loved cell phones so much. Like, and this is like cell phones before the iPhone.
Yeah.
Imagine, around
Like
the time like the
like
Razor
flip
was
phones?
Like the razors. Remember the razors?
Razors.
The Sidekick.
Yeah.
Cell phones like that, Blackberries, Palm Pilot.
Oh,
Yeah.
BlackBerry. Yeah, I was a BlackBerry girl.
I made a site called like samphones.webs.com, like one of those like free website domains you can get.
Yeah.
I made my own website as like an 8-year-old, like
No way.
all the phones that would come out. And
Really?
my parents thought it was gay. Like
No, that's so cool. It shows
they
your
weren't very
own.
supportive of it when I did it. They were like, "What the hell is he doing?"
I always
Like,
say like a true entrepreneur or a creative person always has a story when they're really young where they're hustling or they're selling something and they don't realize they're an entrepreneur yet, and then you hear the stories and they're like, oh, that's so cool.
I have a lot of stories like that as well. My name is Sam, but my nickname when I was a child used to be Scamuel.
Scam? No, you would scam people?
So that's your villain name.
I used to hustle people with card games and stuff.
No.
Good for you, Sam.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
That's so cool. So speaking of not scamming, but hacking, do you have any writing hacks that you've learned along the way that you can teach other writers?
Your tip.
The one thing that makes anything successful that I've written, whether it's just something personal that I'm writing, that I have like an experience that I want to get down on paper, or it's an assignment, a certain topic I'm supposed to be writing about, it's always helped me to make a layout of what I'm going to write.
Oh, really?
The show is going to be about this. The meat of the paper is going to be about this, and have some real like structure to what it is I'm writing.
So that helps you.
I say everything that I need to say in a timely manner.
Oh, cool.
So, Sam, did you get into just free-flowing writing or some kind of like poetry and rhyme and?
Well, the first jobs I ever had writing was doing editorial work, actually.
Oh, cool. So
editorial work for a politician in Tennessee. That was,
politician. That's cool.
I did. That's when I was still in high school. I did editorial work in Tampa. And then also when I was in Tampa, I began working in online marketing. So I did a lot of copywriting, writing advertisements, thinking of what my ad campaigns would be for on social media and beyond, because then I was working more in the e-commerce space when I moved to Miami.
Interesting.
So, and I wrote for blogs, but blogs that had like a real marketing intention.
I see.
Draw people to like the website that I was looking for. And then after I stopped going to college, I was like, man, I don't get to write about anything interesting anymore. How much can I write about clothes? And so I found some freelance writing gigs, and that's how
Cool.
I got to a few.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we decided to get to know Sam a lot better. You and Dana knew each other. I got to know you better. All of a sudden, you're part of Jada.
Yeah.
What is your role in Jada?
Well, I'm helping putting together the speaker series right now for Paris.
Cool.
Paris Art Week.
Yeah.
It's going to be October 22nd to the 26th, 25th.
Yes.
Yes.
22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th of October.
I've gone. My light is coming from my laptop, so since the screen's black.
Oh, yeah. I changed the
We have a-
slide. Sorry.
Don't worry, we got
There you go.
we got your face. Yeah, we got your voice, so it's okay.
So the series is called what?
Jada Talks.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's what we see in the screen right now.
Yeah.
What is Jada Talks?
Yes, it's a good question. Jada Talks is going to be a series of conversations that we're going to have kind of in dialogue with this year we've all just had. I don't think anyone would really refute the fact that 2020 has been one for the books, as they say. We've gone through not only the catastrophe of
The pandemic.
pandemic, but also so much of the civil unrest in the United States and throughout the world.
Yeah.
Economic unrest. There's a lot of topics, a lot of avenues we can explore through the lens of this last year, 2020, that we've had.
Yeah.
And I think we're still in it, to be honest.
Oh yeah. Didn't we just find life in Venus like yesterday? So we got aliens now, and then there's also a meteor coming the day before elections.
What? I just missed this news. I know there's UFO. I know there's aliens, but they claim...
Dana, there are aliens coming.
No, I know, but there's a news story on Venus.
They're from Venus. Like men are from Mars and women are from Venus. There's also aliens from Venus.
So they're
I heard
women
the stuff on
aliens.
Venus was just like a bacteria.
So that's where
Guys,
You're wrong.
is that where COVID came from? Venus?
it's alien bacteria. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
So basically, they found a kind of it's kind of like a chemical, a component in the atmosphere that can only come from living animals. It comes from the excrement of living animals. And they found too much of it, which cannot be explained in any other way besides having life. Even if it's at the microbial level, it would be a lot.
Wow.
And they think it's actually in the clouds of Venus. How crazy is that?
That is crazy.
Well, you know something? When people would ask me if I believe in aliens, I would always say, I would never be so arrogant as to say there couldn't be life.
Any life. Yeah.
Also, what I was thinking is, there's lots of different kinds of life on Earth.
Yeah.
Plants, they're alive.
Yeah.
We respirate, they're alive. We have fish, we have birds. Why can't it be something like that? Why does it have to be little gray men with big heads?
Yeah, we always expect to find little versions or big versions of humans that just look different, but kind of like a head, 2 hands, 2 feet, legs, Yeah.
See,
Well,
and this is, what were you saying?
I was just going to say that's the difference between extraterrestrial life and intelligent extraterrestrial life.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. But now, as a writer, how would you define intelligence?
Ooh.
Oh man.
Ooh.
I'm a philosopher.
So these topics are interesting. So let's think about it. So Jada's putting a talk series inside of a gallery or an exhibition. Why? Like, why would we do this, right? Why would we include Jada Talks in a exhibition type of environment?
Well, I still see the value in meeting face to face. I have a very select group of people that I have. I don't have any family in Miami, so I have a family that I'm friends with. That I hang out with them. I'm friends with the whole family. I'm best friends with one lady who is one of the daughters in the family. I would go over their house a lot during quarantine, but I would try and limit my exposure to anyone else. But there's something about that face-to-face human interaction that even with a mask on, I just it can't be.
So communication and connection. So yeah, totally. Including a talk series is like, you know, you have all the sensory, you see the art, you engage with the artist, we're talking and having deep conversations about meaningful topics. Yes, it's a connection piece, but it's also a way, I think, to really, you know, talk about things that like are happening this year in the art world and all, you know, more than the art world, and really diving deep with each other. And Jonatas can add to the importance, I think, of...
Well, the thing is that, so this is one of the purpose of Jada, right, in general. Our idea is, yes, we'll have art shows, we're going to have art exhibits, but we're also going to really focus on bringing people together, right? One of the things that we have seen, and this is tied to the purpose of Jada, is exactly this idea of communication, meaningful communication. Right? And to think of art as central to the conversations that are happening here and now. So as 2020 is happening and all of these insane things are happening, right? Tragedies and divisions. One of the biggest tragedies of tragedies of 2020 is that instead of coming together, we have polarized and politicized, right? The pandemic. So it's important that we talk about this. We believe that communication has suffered so much the past maybe decade or even 2 decades that it's time to bring back this kind of openness, this kind of like, we want people to feel vulnerable in a way that they will open themselves for conversations. You don't have to agree with me, but I will always respect you as a human being, even though we have 2 different opinions. And that is one of the purpose of the Jada Talks. But the Jada Talks will focus mostly on topics that are about the here and the now, how we're moving past postmodernism, what's coming next, and how is that related to art. And Sam is leading the conversation. And he picked some of the most intriguing topics.
Yeah, here's a sample of a couple topics that I wanted to highlight. Just this teaser. I didn't do all of them. But, and like Jonatas said, it's bringing us together, but that's in the new normal way. Whether it's virtually, we're going to be live streaming. It doesn't mean you have to be there in person, but we will have, you know, health, we'll follow the health guidelines, we'll have masks provided, and we'll keep the social distancing. But it is both virtually and online the new normal. We're trying to connect and communicate in all facets.
I really like that we're doing a hybrid of in-person and online. I think it's really like a great way for us to kind of have our tentacles in both buckets, so to speak, you know.
It's the future.
You know, it's. I think we're going to get a good amount of people in Paris, a even bigger amount of people here in Miami. But I'm very interested to see how many people are going to be more comfortable tuning in on Zoom. And I wonder, is the accessibility of a Zoom, like a video conference like we're doing now, does that incentivize people to attend more events that they wouldn't have previously in the past? Because you can do it from the comfort of your own house.
Good question.
Or are we going to see, you know, similar numbers for in-person attendance or reduced number? I'm interested to see. And you know what? We're doing both in-person and online. We're going to see how pandemic is affecting both. Not only as far as, you know, what the law is, but then psychologically, as far as the people who are coming. Are you comfortable to come out?
Exactly. These are all questions up in the air. We have no idea.
There's so many cool, interesting topics that you bring up. So that's a great point.
So some of these topics here, the death of postmodernism and the birth of meta-modernism.
Wow.
How dramatic is that? This is very dramatic.
I love it.
Who chose the wording of these topics? Sam.
Jonatas.
Oh man.
No, Sam did too.
No. I know what you mean by that. I know why you're saying that, because these are some of the topics that I have brought up about. I have, you know, we often talk, we often chat about that. But
we collaborated on the title, but the subject matter. I'm learning more every day. This is I think I understand better than your average bear would.
This is very Jada topics. But for viewers that are listening, we talk about Jada and Jada every day. We're in Jada all the time, so we have our own language, really.
Exactly.
So this is the birth of the Jada organization, what we're about. So the topics are obviously relatable to what we're living and breathing every day in our conversations.
Yeah.
So the death of postmodernism. What the heck?
Ouch. That's rough.
Can you give me a little teaser, Jonatas, and the birth of like in 30 seconds?
In 30 seconds. Postmodernism, all about irony and skepticism, right? The birth of metamodernism. Even though postmodernism brought about so many great things, such as understanding that not everything is either black or white, but there's a spectrum.
Yeah.
So it's not all about binaries. Metamodernism said yes. However, let's not throw away all kinds of structure. We are interested still in talking about our feelings. So how about we at least consider chatting about the structure of feeling, the idea of a new sincerity that goes beyond irony. So that's my 30-second pitch.
Beautiful. I couldn't have said it better myself. You know?
There you go. Okay. So art meme warfare. What?
Yeah, that's a hard one.
What the heck, Sam? What did you do to us?
That's going to be, it's going to be a lot about phenomena that's happened to us in the last couple election cycles around the world, really, not just in the United States. As many of us found out in 2016 with some of the information leaked from the Cambridge Analytica scandal, this was something that really kind of publicized what a company is capable of doing with behavioral data that companies are collecting. Companies like Amazon, Facebook, Google, Instagram, companies that we're using every single day. When you sign up for these platforms and you agree to the terms and conditions, a lot of times what you're agreeing to is that they get to monitor, record, and keep track of your behavioral data. How you, as an individual consumer, interact with the internet, when you shop, when you wake up, when you email people, where geographically you do it. And this becomes valuable data, first and foremost, for advertisers. But advertising is really only, one deviation away from campaigning. And so one of the first industries, really, if you will, that found a real value in assessing these behavioral data sets was political campaigns.
Wow.
And so they take this interpretation of these large sets of data that they get from these tech companies, and they create memes, these illustrations, these little pieces of art, if you want to call it art, that are designed to, evoke some kind of reaction out of you, make you feel some kind of way, whether it's you're laughing, whether it pisses you off, whether it makes you feel part of a team in some in some respect, like, that is the political slogans, like Bernie Sanders has, not me, us, Donald Trump, make America great again. When people rally behind these slogans, it makes them feel like they're a part of something. And there's a whole kind of aesthetic that stems out of these political campaigns.
Wow. You couldn't have said it better, and you did sound like a journalist who has had a background in political reporting. That's great. Excellent. Is there any, besides these three topics that we see on the screen, is there another topic off the top of your head that you are very excited about addressing?
I can share.
Should we
show them? I can share them.
Should
we let our viewers see the whole list? It's your call, Sam. Do we want to tease?
I think we can do it. I feel like, why not?
Okay. Ready? There it is. The rest.
UFOs, 5G, and Epstein. All right.
Oh boy. Global quarantine and the rise of digi-romantic artists. I feel a part of that. I feel that.
I like that.
My favorite Jadaism is
right,
is
but
romantic.
we always go back to UFOs, it seems like. Jada likes aliens. Protests, of course. You want to shed light a little bit on that, obviously relevant to times today.
Yeah. You know, if you're living in the United States of America, it's pretty hard to escape some of the protests we're having nationwide in relation to, you know, this national dialogue we're having about race relations in this country, the relationship between certain communities and the police department. If you want to wrap that up as to the Black Lives Matter protest, that's a nice nutshell for it, I think.
Yeah.
But also, even prior to COVID-19, I mean, we saw Black Lives Matter protests as well, but we also saw things like the gilet jaune, the yellow jacket, or yellow vest. You also saw lots of protests over the rising cost of public transportation, actually in places like Chile, Colombia, I believe Spain, and then also the really highly publicized protests in Hong Kong. And in addition to that, even one other thing that's not listed on this is the protests in Iran. They were protesting in Iran, and I think before 2020, all the way into the new year.
Wow.
And it's really interesting. A lot of these protest movements kind of pumped the brakes pretty hard once the quarantine broke out. But then we saw this awakening both in the United States and also outside of the United States. There are a lot of reports of people following the murder of George Floyd in places like New Zealand, in Europe, protesting on behalf of George Floyd. Against this issue of police brutality in the United States.
Yeah, very heavy topics.
But these people, we forget. It's hard to see the forest through the trees sometimes. We're still living amongst the quarantine. These people who went out to protest broke quarantine. This was at a time when we were still being told, everyone stay inside. Don't go, we're going to give each other a coronavirus. A lot of cities did see spikes in coronavirus, but these protesters, regardless of their cause, because it varies depending on where you are, they seem to think the causes that they're going out to protest for are noble enough to risk catching and spreading COVID.
Wow.
So there's really kind of two approaches you can have to this, and it's a global phenomenon. It's a lot bigger, you know, like I said, in the United States, we're going to only think of Black Lives Matter, but there's protests going on throughout the world.
So this is so interesting. You mentioned here so many things, and one thing that we have to keep in mind is that, and you know, one of the top reasons why we value so much the United States and our freedoms is because of the right of self-assembly, right? The right of free speech, and we take this for granted because you mentioned Iran, Iraq, many countries. People don't have the right to protest, and they don't have the right of assembly. They don't have the right of free speech, and they can be easily targeted and brought to, you know, judgment based on the idea of they are disturbers of the public peace, right? And people are dying nowadays. I believe in Iran that's happening right now. Wow. So, yeah. The COVID-19 crisis going on, this pandemic is going on, and people are very mindful that they might catch COVID-19, but they get out there. I'm so glad you're bringing this up to our attention and making sure we don't forget that we're still going through this moment.
Yes. Yeah. And then, you know, as we continue on the list, other topics, the age of the internet art, the end of irony, and the birth of new sincerity. This is fun. No more ironic conversation.
I don't know.
The birth of new sincerity? You mean truthfulness, transparency, vulnerability?
I don't know if I can do that. That's too much to ask.
Future imaginaries, a deeply human approach to the age of singularity. What the heck?
I'm ready for the singularity. I don't know about you guys. I think we're getting, baby steps. We're on our way for sure.
Yeah. I think this pandemic brought to mind that I think it's Kurzweil, if that's his correct name, a futurist who works for Google right now. He's always been telling people, don't fear artificial intelligence basically becoming self-aware. It's not like there will be a war against machines and humans. It's more like we will be eased into gradual merging with AI. They'll just help you hear better, see better. All of a sudden, you are kind of cyborgish because you are expanding your thought process by, all of a sudden getting connected to the cloud and all that. So that is what we really talk about. The idea that AIs will get at least close to self-awareness, or at least have the impression of self-awareness, as we engage in this new sincerity, which makes us deeper humans, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is that, right? I don't know anything about what it's going to be like.
And how it may impact art and
I have no idea how it's going to manifest. Yeah.
Honestly, my whole way of thinking about it is, right now, like you said, we're living cyborgs right now. If I have my glasses on, I'd be a cyborg. Our smartphones are make us cyborgs. If you have a hearing aid, something that's going to augment your natural ability, you're a cyborg. You are using artificial intelligence really to your advantage. And now, when it comes to the idea of information and intelligence in relation to information, what happens when we begin to download things that would otherwise take us time to learn? When information becomes downloadable to the human brain through thinking augmentation, whatever you want to call it, you know what I mean? Like this kind of like fusion of the human body and artificial intelligence. And then the possibilities are limitless when you think about it. If you think about the wealth of the information we have out right now on the internet, kind of the combined information of every human who's connected.
Oh, yeah.
And this is crazy. Like, will it wipe out common sense?
Will it wipe out humanity as we know it?
Well, yeah, but like, your comments, every, being has common sense. But if you can GPS in your mind, you don't have to figure out, do I go right? Street smarts.
Well, my idea is if it gets to a certain point where we're all just kind of bonded to the same level of artificial intelligence, what is the point for humans? The machine should do what's best for the machine.
What happens if the machine malfunctions?
Yeah, malfunction.
Well, the difference is this, I would say, and I don't mean to sound too philosophical, but I believe the machines will focus. I believe the machines will focus on mission, while humans will always focus on purpose. And it sounds very similar, right? Every mission should have a purpose. But if you go through a mission for the sake of going through a mission, you are a robot. You're following a command. To choose to go a certain direction and do this with a passion and to risk life and limb, that is deeply human. And if we augment our ability, but we still have this deep sense of purpose, maybe we are augmenting our humanity by becoming more artificial. I have no idea. I'm just throwing this out there.
And
who knows?
And what art will translate out of that?
What art? Yes.
The University of Wisconsin in Madison, right?
Yeah.
There's a professor. She's still an English professor there. Her name is Megan O'Geeglin. Have you ever heard of her?
I did. Yes.
You know who she is? I love her. Actually, I was telling my friend about her book today. It's sitting on my coffee table right now. She wrote one of my favorite books that I've read recently.
Really?
It's a collection of essays, actually. And one of the things she writes about is there's some kind of term for it. It escapes me at the moment. She describes a certain sect of Christians in the United States that believe this kind of singularity merging with AI is what will bring about 1,000 years of of peace with Jesus on earth, or whatever that is.
That's interesting.
Something like that, in essence.
I think in Christian theology that's called the millennial years.
Like premillennialism is what they.
Yeah.
There's another sect of Christians that believe there will be suffering on earth for 1,000 years before we
this is after the rapture?
Yes. Yes.
We're all slaves.
So
and
postmillennialism believes in. Listen, don't quote me on this. I'm really struggling.
It's okay. We're free flowing here. We're playing.
I believe postmillennialism is the idea that there is some kind of war between God and Satan on earth. We're raptured before that.
Yeah.
And then after the war, we live happily with Jesus on earth for 1,000 years.
Yeah, the ones that are.
Premillennialism believes that we live happy with Jesus on earth for 1,000 years, and then we fight the war.
Wow, that's interesting.
Whether or not, let's always make sure our viewers understand that when we talk in a very nonchalant way here, we don't mean to. We're not experts in religion. We're not talking about history. We're being objective and in a way, kind of like just working with these many theories and imaginations and lifestyles that are out there. So it's very interesting, Sam, that you're talking about a sect in Christianity that makes the singularity a central part of their theology.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
I wouldn't even say they're organized enough right now to call themselves a sect, but it is the things that certain people who are involved in Christian theology have,
like in the fringes.
They have conferences. There's a one of the leading voices in this movement of, I believe it's called premillennialism.
Interesting.
Live in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna, Jonah does. If you know who she is, I'm gonna, as soon as we get off this call, I'm gonna look at the book and I'm gonna tell you.
So guys, all of these topics, why does it have to do with art?
Yeah.
Why are we doing this, right?
Why is this being brought up at a Jada
art fair?
Arts fair, yeah. Why?
I really feel like art is the essence of life. I think a lot of art reflects current events going on in society today. It might be more emotional and more personal to the artist than it has to say with these topics that we're talking about. But some of these topics are emotional. Some of these topics really do have to do
with the heart of the matter.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I think us as Jada, believing in new sincerity, truthfulness, and passion and purpose and meaning behind what we do is completely aligned with relevant topics today that we must discuss in order for us to create purposeful works, creative writings. It's an essence, a part of who we are.
Yeah, I couldn't say it better. As part of Jada, that is essentially what it is. Just this idea of being vulnerable and engaging in conversations that are risque, in the making of artwork that are risque, because you have passions, you are a human who is flawed, and because of your flaws we find you incredibly beautiful. That is where we find the texture of humanity, right? In our flaws, in our engagement with that which we are afraid of, that which makes us insecure about.
It's so exciting.
That's it. It's beautiful.
So who do you think the audience is? Are they artists? Are they professionals? Like, who would be interested, you think, in signing up to live stream and listen to the talks? Do you think it's anybody? Like, what do you think?
It would, first and foremost, it would be someone who speaks English. Because it's going to be in English.
Yes.
And if they don't live in Paris, then they're going to have to be someone with access to the internet and a computer capable of streaming. Not to sound like a wise ass, but you know what I mean? Just really break down who would it be.
Yeah.
Because I think art is not only is it kind of the essence of life, like I said earlier before, but it's really a universal thing.
Yeah.
People from all walks of life are gonna show some degree of interest in art, whether they realize it or not.
Yeah, I think this would interest. Obviously, our artists. We're gonna have panels of our artists talking that are exhibiting work. So it's definitely for artists. I really feel like it's for creatives. It's for professionals to really just engage in deep conversation and learn and, you know, connect to these topics for growth, personal and business professional.
Yeah, and I would say that it's always important to mention that we are an art movement, right? And we are an art movement that while a discrete art movement, we do have an ideology, we have some beliefs, we have a manifesto, and we are expanding our message. And our message is so simple. It's basically join the group, become one of us, join the conversation. That's it. Is Sam still here?
I think we lost him. We have a few minutes left. Maybe he'll reconnect.
All right. Anyways, Sam, if you come back, great. If not, what a pleasure having you here, Sam.
Oh, no, Sam, come back. He'll join us. Well, tell us a little bit.
Go ahead, Dana. What's going on next?
So we have on the last information, we have a few more minutes left. We really just wanted to cover what's happening in October and why it's exciting. We've got these conversations. All of it will be live streamed, and then if you're in Paris, it will be in person. It's a very daring thing, taking, you know, Americans to Paris. How is this possible? You know, it's bold moves, but I believe the time is now. You know, we're all taking the right safety measures, and we hope that those watching would be a part of it online and involved in the conversation. So we're doing the fair from October 22nd to 25th. There he is.
Welcome back, Sam. He's connecting.
Oh, there you go. So then we're exhibiting these artists in the show.
Hello. All right.
Hello,
Sam. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Paris.
Sorry about my computer died.
Oh, no worries.
We're talking about Paris. We got just a few more minutes, and Dana is talking further about what this whole thing in Paris is. Very, very daring.
Yes.
So continue, Dana. I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, yeah. So we're exhibiting about 10 artists. Most of them are American. It's very bold move. We're gonna be engaged in the Parisian life. Taking tours, going to see, having an exhibition space in the heart of Paris, and then hosting some of the talks in a seminar, and keeping our social distancing, following health guidelines, and obviously doing everything virtual for our American friends, because we are obviously in Florida, so we want to connect with you all while we're there. We want this to be a great experience for everyone learning and engaging while we're online and in person.
That's right. And I do want to mention that the Jada Talks will be held at FIAP. And we can maybe talk, at one point we can talk more about FIAP, but the truth is this, it's a university campus-like environment where most of our artists will be staying, right, at the dorms, and we'll be eating together. We're going to be engaging conversations. We're going to have our seminars there, and also our studio room where we're going to be making art. So anybody, if you're in Paris, stop by. And if you're not in Paris, like Dana just mentioned, everything's going to be broadcasted all over the world. You do have to speak English, but you know what? You'll be just fine if you don't. Join the group, join the conversation. We do have a theme. What is this theme, Dana?
The demise of art for art's sake. But can you say that in French?
Yes, well, I'll say the part that is in French right there. The demise of l'art pour l'art. This is just kind of like a tongue-in-cheek way of saying, in French, because we're going to be in France, the end of art for art's sake. Controversial, a little bit kind of like picking a little bit of a fight, but why not? It's just, we just want to instigate conversation. That's all.
Yeah, so that is the theme, and it's going to be a great time. And to get more information, go to JadaArt.org. We'll be posting the exhibition information and how to join us virtually. We'll be listing the Jada Talks information in the coming week with links to connect to that. And our moderator, Sam, will be leading the show with us. So Sam will be in Paris He's going to be rocking it with us there, and we're excited for a good time. So thank you, Sam, so much for talking to us tonight. We learned so much more about you and about your writing and who you are.
Thank you so much, Sam.
Thank you, guys. I'm really excited. We're going to have a great time. This is a lovely conversation. I'm glad I was able to be on.
Yes. So until next week, we'll see you again next Wednesday at 7:30.
All right. See you guys. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.